Time now for The Real Estate Connection with Stephen Theard, a realtor and certified probate and real estate specialist. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a seasoned investor looking to downsize, move up, or refinance, this program is for you.
A house in the middle of our street.
From probate sales to landscape design to home repairs and maintenance, this is your weekly look into all things real estate. Now your host for The Real Estate Connection, Stephen Theard.
Hey everybody, welcome to The Real Estate Connection. Hey, here we are again in the middle of January. Can you believe it? We're in the middle of January 2022. Wow, the first month is halfway gone. This year is already creating history, and I want to thank you for joining me on today's episode. So another round of applause for you. All right, thank you very much. Thanks for joining me. Hey, this show couldn't be done without my sponsor, Good Patriot Realty, a salute to home ownership. That's right, we salute private property rights and the right for generational wealth building throughout the United States of America. So if you're looking to increase your wealth, buy your first home, sell your next one, make the most amount of money as you possibly can, and you're looking for a service to get that job done where your goals are my goals, give Good Patriot Realty a call at 408-472-0817. California DRE number 017000019. That's right. Cal DRE number 017000019. Basically 1719. Don't know how I got that number, but it worked out. Really easy to remember and hopefully easy for you to remember as well. Again, welcome to the podcast. You're listening to The Real Estate Connection, hosted by yours truly, Stephen Theard with Good Patriot Realty. And the title of today's episode is 2022 New Year, Same Story. And you're probably wondering, what does he mean by that? Well, I'm going to tell you, we're going to get into it. But if you don't want to miss another episode and you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, like it, and then subscribe so that you can just get a notification every time the podcast comes on live, and that way you don't have to rewatch it later. And if you have access to the subscription, you can share it with friends or family that may find this content interesting, especially if you're in real estate, right? If you own it or if you're renting it, you're in real estate, all right? You're going to be dealing with either values going up or down or rents going up and down, but everybody needs a place to live, and real estate is the universal connecting point for everyone living in the United States as long as you have a home, and God bless those that don't, and we pray for them. All right, so if you're on Facebook, go ahead and hit that like, maybe even start a watch party. Get that out there to your friends. Say, hey, Steven's on again. Good Patriot Realty is doing his thing. Go ahead and like that and share it out there. Start a watch party. Invite lots of people. Lots of people. The more people we have, the more it is a pile. Let's do the DJ air horn. That's right. It's party. All right. So, and if you just want to get an email from me, send me an email directly at info@realestatekonnectionradio.com, and I would be happy to add you to my email and get the podcast distribution list going for you. All right, so that's enough with the advertisements. Let's rock and roll. All right, so 2022, New Year, same story. What do I mean by that? Well, I've recently attended what we call a broker meeting, and that's where all of the real estate professionals in a certain area get together and talk about new listings that are coming on the market. And for those that aren't in real estate, that just means that new properties or homes are about to be listed for sale on the multiple listing service, which is then broadcast to the world on big websites like Realtor.com, Zillow, and all that stuff. So, recently in that meeting, we were talking about housing coming on the market and how many offers people were getting, how quickly houses were being gobbled up and all that good stuff. So the new year has arrived, but the same story is actually playing out in 2022. And that is, there's nothing for sale. There's nothing for sale. I mean, throughout all of Santa Clara County in Northern California, which is high tech county, in case you guys are listening from other states, Silicon Valley, Santa Clara County is the home for high tech, for all the dot coms and all for the search engines and the social media companies and the hardware manufacturers, with the devices and your phones. They're all located here, right? So um, but the same is playing out across the United States. There's just not a lot for sale out there right now. And what does that mean? That means when real estate professionals are holding open houses, which some are still doing, even though we have a spike in sickness in the area, they're seeing lots and lots of people coming through. So many people that you really don't have an opportunity to talk to anybody and get to know them and find out what they're looking for. You're more like a traffic cop. You're like, okay, all right, you group, you come in, you guys wait outside. All right, do you have any questions about what you saw? Okay, next group come in. I mean, you just are so busy that you don't have an opportunity to actually have conversations with people, and that's directing traffic. And that tells me that there's not a lot of houses out there for sale. However, the buying public is still sharp. They're smart, even though there may not be a lot of houses out there for sale. They're only interested in the really good looking properties, right? They're in a nice neighborhood, they're well presented, they look pretty good and stuff like that. Um, so those houses are getting a lot of attention and flying off the market quickly, even though we're having a slight uptick in interest rates. So before in the past, we were looking at things like interest rates below 3%, like 2.95, 30-year fixed if you had great credit, right? Which was lower than car interest rates. I mean, it was ridiculous. So low, right? Everybody could afford some sort of housing, whether you were buying locally in California where it's uber expensive, or you were buying out of state for investment properties, or if you're living in other parts of the country, right? That just brought a lot more buyers to the market because more people could afford to purchase a home because the cost to borrow money was low, and which means that you could borrow more or buy a bigger house and have pretty decent payments that most people could afford, right? But we're starting to see that tick up. We're starting to rise over 3%, heading towards 4. Now, historically speaking, we're still looking at interest rates that are below what we've seen in the United States of America for a very long time. I mean, when I bought my first house back in the 19s, right? For all these people, all you people that are maybe listening that have been born in the 2000s, I'm old, right? Um, I was purchasing my first home in the 19s, and I think the interest rate was 7%. And we were like, whoa, that's super low. Because before it was 8, 9, 10%. And they were starting to come down. And I remember refinancing my house at around 7.5 or 6.5%. And I thought, my Lord, we're never going to see anything this low ever again. Well, here we are. We're still under 4%, which is still historically low in the real estate market in the history of the United States, which means there's still a lot of buyers in the market. So what does that mean? You know, hey, even with inflation, right? You still have low interest rates and low inventory, which means those who can afford to buy still outpace the amount of supply, which means pricing is still starting to go up. It's not going the other direction not by any means necessary. So what does that mean for you? If you are in the market to either buy or to sell, that means you need to get your ducks in a row and take advantage of things now, now, now. If you are qualified and you have the income and you have the stability in your job and you are pre-approved and you're looking for a house, you need to absolutely put your best foot forward. No playing games, no negotiating and trying to push the seller down. That market does not exist right now. So unfortunately, you're still going to have to go heavy and all in to get a house that you really like. Now remember, right now in the market, the house is the prize. That is the prize. If you can afford it, the payments fit your lifestyle, and you can get that property, grab it. Because even in real estate, when the markets correct a little bit and come down a little bit, over time, it's doing this, right? Up and down, 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 and down, but still climbing. And especially in California real estate, we have a lot of things that keep people here, even though, the state's changing. Um, there there's polarization. You can't avoid it. I'm going to say it. There's a polarization effect in California. There are some people that are way over to the right and way over to the left. And I don't see them coming together anytime soon. So a lot of people that feel like their positions aren't going to be held up are leaving the state, but a lot of people like the position and they're staying, right? I mean, it's just a fact of life. So if you want to stay here, there are a lot of things that keep people here. You can drive 3 hours from any direction and get anything you want. You can be in the desert, or you can be in the mountains, or you could be on the coast enjoying the ocean. You can live in almost any environment you want. You have high tech here, you have major universities, you have all sorts of research, biotech. You've got recreational activities because the housing market is so hot, construction's on fire. So if you're in the trades, in electricity or carpentry or even mechanics, because people are running around driving cars, they have to be repaired. I mean, everything is still cranking here in California. So if you want to stay here and you want to buy a house, the house is the prize because over time it will hold its value. All right. And there's always corrections, even in political ideologies. Pendulums swing one direction real hard and back the other direction real hard. And things tend to balance themselves out over time, even though it seems as if things will never change. There's something you can always count on in life besides death and taxes, and that's change. Things always change. All right. So, but if you're a seller, what's what's the takeaway here for you? If you're a seller, that means before interest rates climb too high, you want to take advantage of this low inventory market. Now, I know you're probably saying, Stephen, but what if all the sellers jump in at the same time? Even if they do, I think that there are more buyers out there, and that even with more inventory coming on, just because it's so low right now, it will be able to absorb that and still see price appreciation, at least the way things are playing out in the first month of this year, without dramatic interest rate increases within the next, I don't know, 45 to 60 days. Okay. So, that's basically it. 2022 is a new year, but kind of with the same story. And so that plays an effect. Now, just going to switch gears real quick, talk about my personal life really fast. You know, the Real Estate Connection podcast, I do this solo by myself a lot, but this year I've decided that we need to bring some people on board. And this last week or so, I had someone come in the house and clean my dryer vent out. And I thought, simple, be here, 15, 20 minutes, clean out the dryer vents, a short run to the side of the house. Man, that guy spent 2-3 hours here really doing a really good job and getting all of the lint not only out of the dryer connection points from the back of the dryer to the exterior, but also cleaned out the back side of the dryer, completely sucked out from the dryer unit itself all the buildup, and told some pretty good stories that I think you guys might be interested in hearing about just all the different issues related to that simple of a job, which is cleaning out your dryers, which is very important. All right. So I think I want to bring this guy on the show and kind of have him talk to you about what he does. And because it's important, if you don't clean out your dryer vent, and then it builds up around some of the electrical connection points in the back of your dryer, it could spark. If there's a spark, that's a fire. And there's two huge enemies to a house, and that is water and fire. And so if you are creating a fire hazard by not cleaning out your dryer vent, then you should stop and get this taken care of as soon as possible. If you live in the Bay Area, then this guy I would highly recommend. He does a fantastic job, and I think I'm going to have him on the show. So there's going to be some other things, hopefully, that we're going to expand and grow with the Real Estate Connection this year. And I hope you guys will find it enjoyable. So that's it for today's episode. But I want to leave you with this. All right. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. So with that, I'm going to put up the sunrise. It's going to be beautiful. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless the United States of America. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you next week on another episode of The Real Estate Connection, hosted by Good Patriot Realty. A salute to home ownership. Give me a call, Stephen Theard, 408-472-0817. Again, 408-472-0817. California DRE number 0170019.
This has been The Real Estate Connection with Realtor and Certified Probate and Real Estate Specialist Stephen Theard. Licensed Cal DRE number 0170019. For more information on this program, visit realestateconnectionradio.com. To contact Stephen directly, call 408-472-0817 or email info@realestateconnectionradio.com. And be sure to tune in next week at this time for The Real Estate Connection.